Now that we've got everything cleaned up, look how nice this blade came out. We can go ahead and put a nice fresh edge on it. And what you're going to want is, Felco makes a sharpener, or you can get a diamond sharpener like this one here. And even though this looks like it's just a piece of metal, it's got very fine diamonds embedded in the metal that allow you to sharpen with it. Now, if you're new, you certainly could just go out and buy a brand new blade. And I always like to have some spares around just in case, you know, if you ever cut wire with a Felco pruner, let me give you a little lesson here. There's a little notch right in the back here. See that notch? That's where you're supposed to cut wire with the pruner. You're not supposed to use the length of the blade. When I was first using Felcos, I would cut wire with the pruners, and once you get that ding, it's just never quite the same in the blade. So always cut your wire at the back of the blade if it's something that's the right size to cut with Felcos, or if your Felcos ever gets really dull, you know, you can always certainly just get another blade to replace it. The next thing we're going to do now is to take our diamond sharpener and sharpen the blade. And the way we're going to do that is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start at the back of the blade, and we're just going to very lightly, we're not going to try to remove a lot of metal, but we just want to flatten the back edge. Just a few strokes so there's no bumps or anything on the back edge. And that really should be all that's necessary. You want to be pretty close to flat when you do this step. And then what you're going to do with the blade, and it's kind of tough to see, I don't know if you even can see it on the camera there, but what you want to do with the blade is you're going to try to just mimic the angle you've got and just gently work that file along the edge of the blade. And this is one of those things that you're not going to, you know, you're not going to go over to a grinding wheel. Speed is not the key. This is something that you really want to do is keep your blade sharp at all times, just like with a chainsaw. You know, you just want to sharpen it a little bit all the time so it's always sharp, and not let it get really out of hand. And it can be tough. Take off these glasses. It can be tough to see the edge, but you want to see that nice bright metal. I don't know if you can even see that there. You want to see that nice bright metal as you're sharpening along the whole length of the blade, and you want to keep that nice same angle. You don't want to change the angle, you just want to remove just a little bit of metal to sharpen that up. So we're going to see if we can just keep doing this, and I will be the first to admit that I am not a master sharpener, but we do our best. If you're ever having trouble seeing the edge, what you can do is take a Sharpie, cover the whole edge where you want to remove metal, and this way when you start sliding the file across, wherever you remove the black marker is where the file is actually sharpening. Okay, so we got that pretty well sharpened, and I did notice that it was a little bit easier if I put the blade down on something to support it, and then I could have a nice stable surface to work on. My fingers are getting tired after a while, but that's certainly another way to do it, and it seems to be a little bit easier if we hold that blade in place. Once you're done, you just want to run your file across the back of the blade to remove the burr. Again, we don't really want to remove a lot of material, but this is pretty much as good as I can do. Let's see.